Hey guys, so today I have swatches of the China Glaze Vain Villains collection for Halloween 2022. There are 6 polishes here altogether. I found these at polishpick.com, so I will link that website down below. 6 polishes altogether, and I will get into the swatches.
So the first polish is called Sinful Soul, and this is just a matte white. This is kind of streaky, uneven on the first coat. I will say it does level itself out fairly well, but still pretty streaky. It doesn't dry super fast since it's a matte, which I appreciate because sometimes matte polishes can dry so fast that you don't have a lot of time to work with them, and when they're tricky like this, you kind of need to be able to go over it a few times. Even then though, I just felt like I didn't have enough time to try to even this out. It was okay on the second coat. I would say it was just barely passable. I think if I was actually going to wear it, I would want to do a third, and the camera is going to show it. It's going to be a little kinder to the streaks than reality was. I didn't end up doing a third coat here because it's stupid and it was making me mad. There are better white nail polishes out there. Matte top coat exists. This whole thing was just really unnecessary in this collection. So that is 2 coats of Sinful Soul. The next polish is called Once a Witch, Always a Witch, and China Glaze describes this just as lime-like. It's like a whole paragraph about how spooky it is, but color-wise it just says lime-like. This is just a neon green. So this is a jelly polish. So it's a neon green jelly, which is really cool in theory. I think it might work really well for jelly sandwiches. So it has good nail art potential. On its own though, I don't love it. It kind of suffers from the same issues that Sinful Soul did. It was a bit streaky, uneven, it was hard to level out, and it's a jelly, like I get that, but I've seen better jellies. Is it the worst polish that I've ever used? No, but I don't love it. It did cover better on the second coat, but just like the white polish, there were a lot of flaws that didn't show on camera. My lights are too bright, I admit that. So it did hide a bit of the streaks. So I didn't do a third coat, even though it really could have benefited from a third coat again, because it made me mad. It's kind of stupid. I will say it being a jelly is kind of a unique feature. If you don't care about it being a jelly though, or you don't care about the nail art potential that a neon green jelly has, you can find other versions of this color that will perform better. So that is 2 coats of Once a Witch, Always a Witch. So the next polish is called Rotten to the Core. I just spent so much time trying to get the description of this polish to load on the China Glaze website, and they don't even mention the color anywhere. It's nothing in here about the color. We will just call this like a blurple with blue shimmer. It's blue/purple, and the shimmer is not like super blue, it's subtly blue. This actually wasn't that bad. It was a little bit uneven on the first coat, not terrible, nothing out of the ordinary. The rest of the collection in general is better than the last 2 polishes. The formula was really good on this, and it did cover completely for me in 2 coats. That second coat like really transformed it from purple to blue. This was actually a surprise for me. I liked this so much more than I thought I was going to just from looking at it in the bottle. So that is 2 coats of Rotten to the Core. Next polish is called Twisted Sister, and this is just described as a fuchsia, so a matte fuchsia. And formula-wise, this one is actually great. It covered really well on the first coat, almost completely, just not quite there. It was very even and self-leveling. It didn't dry too fast, so I had plenty of time to work with it, even though I really didn't need a lot of time to work with it because the formula is really good. So this did cover completely for me in 2 coats. This is one that is definitely going to show any flaws or ridges that you have in your nails. Most matte nail polishes will, so I would always suggest a ridge filling base coat to try to smooth everything out before you add the matte polish if you want to keep that matte finish. So that is 2 coats of Twisted Sister. The next polish is called Deadly Desire, and I am just going to read to you the exact paragraph on the China Glaze website because it's hilarious to me. It's love at first bite. A crimson-colored, bloodthirsty treat drizzled with specks of diva dust that's as tantalizing and delicious as all the objects of your desire. So it's a red shimmer. I'm being kind of a dick in this video, I apologize. So this also has a really good formula. It covered very evenly on that first coat. The glitter in here was surprisingly gritty though for how fine it actually is. I wasn't expecting to have that texture that you can see on that first coat. I thought this would be much more smooth than it is. Aside from that though, no real issues. It covered completely in 2 coats and has a really nice sparkle to it once you get everything smoothed out. So that is 2 coats of Deadly Desire. And the last polish is Evil Queen, and this is just a matte black. A little bit streaky here on the first coat, but nothing crazy. The formula felt good. Just like the other matte polishes in the collection, it didn't dry too fast, so I did have plenty of time to work with it, even though I didn't really need it because, again, the formula is pretty good. It did cover completely for me in 2 coats. My issue with this is that it's just a matte black. It's another color that just didn't really seem necessary. China Glaze makes black polishes. China Glaze makes better black polishes than this, and they also make a matte top coat. So it's just kind of an unnecessary polish. So that is 2 coats of Evil Queen.
I don't like this. This is so disappointing. China Glaze Halloween collections are like one of the collections that I look forward to the most out of the entire year. And this one was so disappointing because it's so bleh. Initially, I think I probably would have picked Once a Witch, Always a Witch is my favorite because I like a neon green. It's nothing special. We have these, we've seen these. China Glaze has done like this exact color, but out of the 6, I liked it the most until I swatched it and realized it was a jelly, and then I'm like kind of not digging it because I can't really wear it on its own, and I don't feel like I'm experienced enough in nail art to really be inspired by a neon green jelly like this. I was pleasantly surprised by Rotten to the Core. I did not think I was gonna like another blurple color because we see these all the time as well, but I did actually like this one quite a bit on my nails, so if I had to pick a favorite, it would be this one. But overall, this collection was just so painfully disappointing. Like, we don't need a white. Yes, it's matte, that's cool, but matte top coat exists and has for quite a while, so that's not really necessary, especially when it seems to affect the formula so much. This was really not a good polish. This like dark magenta color, a black, like it's unnecessary. I feel like we could have just skipped the Halloween collection, saved the swatchers some work, saved the people at China Glaze some work, because there's absolutely like nothing here to get excited about. It's very disappointing to me. Like, I just think back to the China Glaze collections of like the glitters and like Don't Let the Dead Bite and really like ugly, unusual colors like that. And I will say that China Glaze did their Jurassic World Dominion collection this year, which did have a lot of like unusual finishes and was kind of funky and cool, and they usually do throw some kind of funky and cool into a lot of their collections, and it doesn't always hit, but I still appreciate the effort. And I think it's so weird that of all the collections that they would go super safe and super basic on, it would be the Halloween collection. Like, that seems like the one to just go bananas with. So I don't know, I'm very disappointed in that collection, very unhappy with it. So that is the China Glaze Vain Villains Halloween 2022 collection. Again, I found those at polishpick.com, so I will link that website down below. Hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I will talk to you later. Bye.